Hi, this is Ms. Gonzalez. Today I'm going to go over Unit 12, Lesson 3. Now, Lesson 3 is an extension of Lesson 2, which is all about solid figures, but this one goes into more information on the attributes, and it's going to ask you questions about its faces, its edges, and its vertices. So one of the things that they do introduce here is the word bases. In the past lesson, they talked about it and they used the word flat surface, and now it's getting more in depth, and they're talking about the bottom part of a cylinder and even the bottom part of a cone like this one here. They're called bases, and the top part of the cone is known as a vertex. It's just one. In other shapes like the cube, the rectangular prism, and the triangular prism, there are more than one vertices. So on those, they're a little different. Now, in the guided practice today, they're going to ask you to find the attributes for these two shapes. So before we get started on any of the questions, I'm going to go over the attributes. The first thing that I see is I always go for the vertices first. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the vertices, and I want you to do the same thing on your paper, just like that. And we're going to write some bullets here for the cube. This is the cube, and we're going to write down what we find. So in the first one, I see 8 vertices, so I'm going to write that in. 8 vertices. Now remember, this is going to be helping you for this entire lesson and for these questions here. The next thing I do is I find the edges. So what I'm going to do is, like I did talk to you in class, and I'm going to connect the dots. So I connect the dots and I number them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the top part, but I still need the front, the bottom, and the back. So 4 edges here. I'm going to go ahead and now check this one here. This is number 5. This is number 6. This is number 7. But I'm not done yet. I still need to get the front and I need to get the back. So I'm connecting the dots here. That's 8. And connecting the dots here. That's 9. And now for the back. 10, 11, and there's that long one in the back. That's 12. So I'm seeing a total of 12 edges. Last thing I check for is the faces. And for the faces, I go ahead and draw the faces for the cube. And I'm seeing that they have squares all the way around. And so these are square faces. So I'm going to first get the top and the bottom. And on the top, I see a square. And at the bottom, I see a square. Okay, now I'm going to get the front and the back. And now the left and the right. So there are a total of 6 squares that make up the faces. So this has 6 faces. Okay, and now I'm going to go and find the attributes for the cone. It had one vertex like it said up here on the top part. So I'm going to put 1 vertex. And at the bottom, I see 1 base. And that base is shaped like a circle. This is also known as a prism. And this one over here is a shape that rolls. So it goes in the category of prism for the cube. And for the cone, they roll. I'm going to answer a few of these questions. I'm not going to answer all of them. And then you're going to answer the rest at home. I'm going to answer question number 1. How many faces does the cube have? See, that's why it's important to write down all the attributes at first, and then you have all of the answers that you need. How many faces does it have? Well, I see here that it has 6 faces, so I'm going to write 6 faces. What is the shape of the face? And I see them right here. They are the squares. Okay, now I'm gonna let you answer these on your own. Don't forget that at home you need to answer these on your own. And I'm gonna talk to you about number 6. It says, Karen said the cone and the cube have 9 vertices. All together. Now notice all together. All together means add. So they want you to do an algorithm to find out if she is correct. Is she correct? So I already told you that it wanted for the cone and 1 for the cube. Now the cone has 1 vertex and the cube has 8 vertices. So you're going to combine those together and find your final answer. If the answer is 9, then she is correct. If it is not 9, she is not correct. Now remember, it's vertices. Make sure you find them right here and get me an algorithm. Please answer these on your own at home. Now let's move on to the independent practice. The independent practice is also asking you about solid figures. These do not have the back. We do see the 3D shape outlined for you right up here for the cube. And you see the one for the cone, so you can use those. But remember, they are 3D figures, so you have to remember that, like this one rolls. It's like, it's a sphere and it's like a ball. And this one over here, don't forget that it does have a base at the bottom. And this figure right here has its back as well. In the cube, we have one right up there. And one thing you need to remember about the rectangular prism is that, first of all, they're both prisms. Second of all, a rectangular prism is just a special type of cube. So again, that's how they have something in common. Once you look at all of the attributes here, you're going to answer the questions down here. Now, some of these you can answer by just looking at the list that we made up here. For instance, number 8, which of these solid figures roll? Number 7, which 2 solid figures have the same number of edges? Well, we just talked about the ones that were exactly the same. Please write their names right here. And it says 2. So you're going to write one name and then the other. Don't just write one name. It says 2 names. Last one says, which solid figure has 5 faces, 9 edges, and 6 vertices? You can go ahead and check them. You already know about the cube. And I just told you the cube is exactly like the rectangular prism. So write its name right here. And of course, we know the answer is not the cube because the cube has 8 vertices. This one says that it has 6 vertices. So that eliminates that one. So write me the name as soon as you figure out the answer there. Number 10 in the problem solving section talks about this shape right here. And notice again that it does not have its back. So you're going to have to do that so that you can imagine that. And I'm going to outline this here for you. You can outline it at home as well. And now you can see that it is a triangular prism. Okay, the wedge of the cheese in the picture at the right is a triangular prism. See, it says its name right here. How many faces does the cheese wedge have? They're looking for the number of faces. So just like I did in the front for the cube, you're going to draw the faces and then tell me the amount of faces. I'm going to put blank faces after you find out which one it is. And I'm going to draw the first one. I'm seeing a square over here. That's one face. But remember, it has a bottom, it has a top, it has a left, and it has a right. Don't forget to draw those and then give me the total number right here. Number 11 talks about John and Iris are packing boxes to ship clothing to a charity. As they pack boxes, they decide which solid figure each box resembles. What solid figure does this box resemble? So all I'm going to need is the name of this shape here. Once you do that, move on to number 12. The next one is a personal literacy question. It says the Patel children want to buy a gift for their grandmother that costs $62. So that's the total amount for the gift. Mrs. Patel will help her children by lending them $30. So mom is going to lend the kids $30. So they no longer have to come up with the $62 to buy the gift. They only have to come up with the difference. And notice I said difference. Okay, if each of the 4 Patel children pay the same amount, how much should each child pay? Here's the question. Now notice there's 4 kids and they have to pay the same amount or same number. We've talked about that in just about every unit that we've been seeing. So this is a 2-step problem. Now remember, we had a total to begin with. The gift cost $62, but mom is lending them $30. What operation should I use if I want to find the difference? Once I find that, I'm going to get box. I'm going to take box over here, and I notice that there's 4 children and it says same number. So what operation are you going to use if it says same number? Then I'm going to get the final answer. Remember, same number, is it multiplication or is it division? Let's get to number 13. When we get to number 13, I'm seeing a collection of coins. Okay, the collection of coins, you can use Harry, or you can use CTV. You decide which one you like the best. What is the total value of coins shown below? They want a total. Total means add them up. They want to know the value of these 8 coins. If you're going to use Harry, make sure you put the hairs on top of the coins. Remember, 2 hairs for the dime because it's worth 10 cents. 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 hair for the nickel because it's only worth 5 cents. So I'm going to continue with that throughout. And then we get to the penny. That one is, just worth 1 cent, so we do not put a hair on that one. You can use Harry, but some of you might like CTV. Now remember what CTV stands for. It's the coin, the tally, and its value. I'm going to do the dime for you, and if you're going to use CTV, you can do the dime and the penny by yourself. Okay, I'm going to do the D to represent the dime. I see 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then its value, count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. 0.40. And I write that decimal point because it's not worth $1 yet. So once you did that, and you found the values of the other coins, get the total down here. Okay, number 14. Tran bought a bag of 24 stickers. He plans to put 1 sticker on each face of this cube. So we need to know how many faces does a cube have. If you look in the front and you made that list, you know exactly how many faces it has. This is 24 stickers, but remember, he's only putting a sticker on each face. So I know the total of stickers that he has. Then I'm going to do an algorithm, and I'm going to write the face right here. Okay, find out how many faces a cube has, write it in, and figure out the operation. Once you do that, you can get the answer there. How much does he still need? Remember that. Number 15, why does a cube have the same number of faces, edges, and vertices as a rectangular prism? Early on in this lesson, I told you what a cube and a rectangular prism have in common. They are both something. See if you can figure that out. They are both something. Please write that in right here. Listen to my lesson right at the beginning, and you will hear me talk about the answer. Number 16, Tanya says she can draw a circle by tracing the base of a cylinder and the base of a cone. So you have to know what a cylinder and a cone is. Remember, a cylinder looks like this. And they're talking about the bases, so they're talking about this part and this part. And then the cone. And there's the base of the cone. Okay, I want to know if Tanya is right or wrong. She says she can make a circle by tracing these on a piece of paper. So write down Tanya is, and I'm going to put blank because I don't know whether she's correct or not. Make sure you write down whether you think she's correct or not. And once you do that, once you make a decision, tell me why. because, and tell me the reason right here, and put a period at the end. Okay, and that is how you do lesson 3 in unit 12. Thank you for listening.